Okay. Okay, well, we'll let you know what we're gonna do.
Is he at work?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So,
It wouldn't matter because the agenda calls for 10, so we
Oh, so
couldn't,
you have to follow the agenda.
usually the posting is what takes prominence.
yeah, I think what happened is, I think, someone got confused, a little confused about the time, that's all. These things happen. All right, so our,
Do we want to reschedule for next week or something?
that's, you know what, I'm gonna leave that up to you. We can do that. I wanted to proceed, I actually wanted to proceed with, hiring, that hiring item, because that person's available to start tomorrow.
And that's on the agenda. Why don't we call the meeting to order?
And only hit
Just that,
certain things.
what's immediate, explain there was a snafu with the agenda, and then we'll reschedule it at a later date for the rest of it.
Thank you.
But I think it's critical we get that.
So the other thing is, I had an MRI last week, and when I walked into that room, I had my hearing aids in. And I don't know if I fried them, but I depolarized them, so I have an appointment tomorrow to do what I can and get them replaced.
Did you hear about
so
that guy that was?
Everybody bear with me, please.
So you just need us to talk an extra louder?
Yeah, you can shout at me.
Did you hear about that guy that was just killed this weekend?
Well, wait a minute, we're recording. You can tell me
MRI.
after we do what we have to do. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Okay, so, let's just make sure I got this up.
His wife was having an MRI.
All right, so meeting's called to order at 10:03. We had a little bit of a snafu with our agenda. Had unexpectedly had a time of 10 o'clock this morning, and we thought it was scheduled for 1 o'clock, which is the time it should have been scheduled for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit some key items on the agenda, and we're going to set up another meeting to cover other things. We also only have 2 of our selectmen here. We'd rather have 3 if we could. Members present are Bill Folletti and Catherine Silversmith. We also have
Bruce.
sorry,
Bruce and
Colleen and Bruce
DePercio.
DePercio. I can spell it, I can't say it. DePercio have joined us for the meeting. Let's see. I just want to pull up the full agenda. That's not it. That's not it. Yes. Okay. First selectmen's briefing.
Catherine, hold on 1 second. Roger, we're gonna go ahead with the meeting. And just because there's a couple of items that we have to address immediately. Like the rec director's position and that. And then.
I support the young fellow from Ashford, yeah.
Yep. And we'll reschedule and take care of the rest of the items on the agenda at a later date.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I know we said 1 o'clock.
We all know we said 1 o'clock too, so.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, didn't know if I was losing it.
No, not you. All of us are losing.
It was all of us.
All right,
Thank you.
bye.
It's not our usual situation. So, thank you, Bill. Okay, hear from public. Does the public have anything to say?
No?
Okay. First selectmen's briefing. I'm gonna kind of do this on the fly. Normally I have it written up for myself. A couple of things. One of the things that Colleen and I have talked about is the possibility of trying to save money by having the Ashford Citizen having not so many copies produced and not having them mailed out, and having those copies put in this office or this building, in the senior center, maybe in housing, senior housing, and in the library. in Knowlton. We anticipate there could be significant cost savings there. However, I would like you to know, I've been canvassing some people and they are saying, no, they don't want that. And the rationale behind even thinking about doing this is it's available online. Okay, and actually online, it's in color. Doesn't always go out as timely as we like online. And the other part of this is that it's used for our legal notices. And by sending it out, the legal notice qualification is covered. Otherwise, we'd be paying quite a bit, especially since some of our legal notices are quite lengthy. We'd be paying quite a bit for that, trying to put it in the Chronicle, which, by the way, doesn't have the same coverage as our Citizen does. You know, we know that some people throw it out. You find that they do that at the post office. And we know that some people don't read it. We keep encouraging people to do that. One suggestion, I haven't done it yet, but I'm about to do it, is to also put links to the version on our website, to put that links out on Facebook and on, you know, and put a mention of it in our website as well. You know, hey, you know, we've got this issue up. So, so right now, my feeling, come in and join us.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
and come in.
Yep.
So, anyway, so right now, I'm not thinking it's a good idea to stop mailing it.
Well, Colleen and I also had a sidebar conversation about it,
Okay,
mainly because I called her last week. I was at the post office and I had never seen the numbers of the post office that were at the post office unused. Either people threw away or whatever.
right,
But I also have asked some people, like you said you have, and the general feedback I got was that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and we prefer getting our hard copy and don't change things.
understood.
Also, I don't know if by limiting or cutting down the numbers, we jeopardize our ability to do our public notices in there.
Yeah, we have to do it in a way that it is available to everybody
Yeah.
in town.
So
So,
I agree with
okay,
your summary on it.
Thank
you know,
you.
we all want to save money where we can, but
right,
unfortunately, with the lack of coverage from the Hartford Current and the Chronicle with our town, that's our means of getting information out there.
yep. Okay, thank you. Another thing is that, and I'm, Sherry Susie, I want Sherry Susie to come down too, is, that we'll, I have researched multiple software packages for recreation management. And I researched 5 of them. They were the top 5. Talked with multiple towns about this. I had quite a lengthy discussion with, I believe it was Killingly, where we talked with their rec director and the 2 assistant rec directors. They actually had a meeting with us over the phone to talk about their use of something called Rec Desk. And we're finding that it's used in Hebron. I believe it's used in Bolton. I talked to Jim Rupert, who's the town administrator in Bolton. It's used in, I believe it's used in Putnam, Killingly, and by and large, there was excellent feedback about the product. What the product will do is it will allow you to enter in information about all of your rec programs, individualized. It would allow the rec director to put in information about what the expenses are anticipated for the program, like what if they have to purchase shirts or whatever, or awards or those kinds of things. So you can actually get the expenses into the system, which is, we have nothing now. And also it will allow people to sign up their kids, themselves, whatever, for whatever program. They can pay online. They can still pay by cash or check, which is what we're doing right now, which is highly manual and subject to error. And what can happen is that the rec director, upon receiving a check, can record it in the system, can record the money in the system. And in addition to the online payment process where people can use their credit cards, the system will produce reports and will actually reports of expenses, of revenues, and also drop them into Excel. The person that I had two people who looked at this with me at Rec Desk. And it was actually Sherry Susie who mentioned that was one that was being used in Killingly. Bear with me. So I had her sit in on the demo that we had with the chief guy at Rec Desk. By the way, the product is being used in 48 states and in 3 countries. It has security that's as tight as Amazon's. It's kind of that kind of security from a technical perspective. So what the person's experience going into it, oh, and by the way, not only did Sherry sit in, but because Karen Zulik, our webmaster, wasn't able to sit in on it, she went out to a couple of other towns and went in to sign up for some programs, and she said it was very simple. So it will allow you to, when you put in your children's age, and there are some programs where you put in, you have to provide a birth certificate, it can be uploaded. By the way, the information on the certifications of anybody conducting a program or whatever can go right in with that program, be uploaded so that it's available within the system, not in some file, and it's also easy to be reviewed, because I can tell you that we had certifications that were 12 years old when I asked previously to find out who was certified to teach this class, this class, this class, this class, in this program. And when I was shocked to find out that some of them were at least 12 years old. You want to keep them current. The parent can sign up their kid for baseball, can sign up another kid for soccer or whatever a paying program, or even the program where you don't have to pay, the free programs as well. And what it'll do is it can produce reports. It sends out emails to the person who has signed up. When they pay, it sends out an email with a receipt kind of thing. Let me think if there's anything else it does. It had all the functionality that we thought was critical for running the program. And you need to remember that what we've had to date has been entirely manual. It's not a hard system to set up. It takes 4 to 6 weeks, soup to nuts. And I have a lot of IT experience doing these exact kinds of things. And so I'm going to be involved if we bring this product in. Sherry Susie is, because she is also my go-to for IT things, because she has quite a bit of experience with that too. And Karen will also be involved. The other thing I found out, I asked about, is can it support something else besides rec? And yes, it can support, for example, our senior center, their programs and signups. That's if they choose to use this. I don't know how many seniors would be interested in doing it that way. But certainly we can record expenses, et cetera, around all of that. So I'm going to encourage our senior center director to use it if we bring it in. So it costs $4,200. We actually got a discount, because I can tell you it costs over $5,600 and change, I think, in Killingly. I think it's based on population, but he also knew that we didn't have anything and we were trying to get this in. And then the following years, I think it's something like $1,600 or $1,800 each year. To me, it's worth it. We've had audit issues in terms of tracking some things down from rec financial information in the past. I haven't seen any this past year or the last 2 years, I think. But also, it's a great way to monitor where you are in the course of expenses versus revenues at any point in time, so that you can make adjustments. One of the things I've been encouraged, I do go to the Parks and Rec meetings. I've been going to, I think, the last 4 of them. And what I did was I posed this to them and said, you know, I'd like Parks and Rec to pay for it. And they looked at what they have available for monies, and remember, we cut them. And when they weren't comfortable doing that. What I'd like is, I've talked with Sherry Susie. We have monies that are available. And by the way, the quote, if you will, commitment is as of June 30th, so it would be applied to the previous fiscal year from this quote from the company. And and we do have some monies available. We have monies in, give me a second. Our Bill, you can tell me because you're the one that mentioned contingency. We also know that we didn't use $18,000 that was allocated to the tax collector's office for extra help last year. So that's there. We're looking at everything we have. Our bottom line looks good. We're definitely in the black for last year. And so what I would like is to bring the software in. I don't, you know, I can understand the rec department being reticent about spending the money. I think that was their biggest issue. We need something, especially since we have, we'll be having a part-time rec director. So we're not going to have that, only 28 hours of availability for everything that person needs to do. Yes, sir.
Just to follow up on what you're saying, and since our last selectmen, I did a little research.
Yes.
Roger's suggestion was to go up on YouTube because they do have demos of
Yeah.
rec desk on there. I'm not a computer tech, so a lot of it was over my head, but they do have several different forms of demos on there for rec desk, and I'd suggest that we do that. I know South Windsor, which is a good sized town, also uses it.
Good.
In fact, they had several, their person that's in charge of their IT was interviewed and was very, very happy with the program.
Good.
My suggestion would be that we don't move on it until we have a full board, our full board. And we have our rec director on board by then.
Yep.
And perhaps ask them to our next meeting with David, if he could make it the chairman.
Yep.
And then we can have Sherry sit in or whatever.
That'd be great.
One of the thoughts, I like the idea of the senior center being able to utilize it, perhaps the library, but I'm wondering, can the school also utilize it?
The library can't, they're not on our system. They're not
Okay.
on our,
How
whatever.
about the
No,
school?
and you would not, no, we would not complicate it with the school. The school
Okay.
has their own animals. They,
I was just thinking
all
of
of their
sharing
stuff is
costs.
separate. Yeah, well, the
as well
cost
as
is not, to be quite candid, the cost is not that high for a
Yeah.
software package like that. Uh,
But anyway, I think it's a good thing to pursue, and I think we ought to
Thank
carry
you.
it on and give it serious consideration.
Yeah, and I think the timing you're talking about is really good.
Yeah.
So, good, thank you. Let me think what else we have. I think that's it for the selectmen's briefing. I don't have the minutes out and available. I'd like to skip that for now.
That's fine.
Here from boards, commissions, committees, senior center annual report. I'd like, Monica is tied up this morning. She's getting ready for the monthly birthday party.
Since Roger isn't here, why don't we pass on those? I know
Excellent.
Keith had given me
Yeah.
a call because he noticed that the transfer station committee was also on here.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you're welcome to join us,
Yeah.
so maybe Keith can give us his report.
All right,
Um,
good.
We had.
Well,
a
we have
snafu with
we actually have the
timing.
chair of the transfer station committee right
Yeah.
here. So if you could share where we are at this point
Okay, right
and
now,
a little louder.
okay, right now, I've given the okay to order new transfer station stickers. At our last meeting, Christine Abakoff had shown us an example of what the blue would look like. We were talking about blue background with white letters, and the blue was not vibrant. And one of the concerns for the staff was they wanted something that was visible. So we had, Matt had brought some from Wellington, had samples of purple and red.
Yep.
And the purple was both purple and red were vibrant with white lettering so that the staff could see
They both
it.
pop.
They both.
They're very visible.
And so we gave the okay on purple, and however, Christine said not all colors are available. So if purple wasn't available, she could order red without having to come back to the committee. I don't know if she has placed the order.
She came back, she showed me the colors. And she's in the other room. I think she's tied up.
Okay.
We'll get the answer to that. When is our next transfer station committee meeting?
Well, I'd have to schedule that. One of the things, and this will segue into that, there was considerable discussion about our bulky waste costs.
Yes,
Christine had the numbers that through May of this year, bulky waste were $78,429.20.
say that one more time.
$78,429.20. That was through May. And both with Wellington's comments, their experiences, and Casey, and also Hadley was present at the meeting, is that we have what I would call frequent flyers, and they tend to be some of the contractors that are making a number of trips each time that the transfer station is open. And some of them have vans, and what they're pushing out makes you wonder, do they have that much work in Ashford?
What's interesting is, we actually have at least one company, if not more, where it's, they're not getting work from other towns, but what they're bringing in for refuse in the form of styrofoam is excessive. And, you know, our policy is that, you know, if you have a business in town, you can use our transfer station. So, I don't know if, I wasn't at your last transfer station meeting, but, are you looking at how to manage this?
Yes. And this is where we have to also address a change in the regulations that we have for the transfer station. One of the suggestions, and I guess Wellington has, Matt Carosi is also a town resident. He runs the Wellington transfer station. That we would set a limit, and this is something that they do at Wellington, of 3 cubic yards per resident per week. And that would be comparable to our big yellow backhoe 3 bucket loads. And we would probably have a demo, you know, something, this is what 3, you know, for people to see. And you get be a punch card, and you get your card punched. So you met your limit for the week. Now, if somebody doesn't know, they come in and they're over that, rather than turn them away, maybe they get 2 punches the current week and the next week and say, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
But contractors could, in Wellington, they allow them to get a permit, a contractor's permit, which they pay for annually, but also require them to show a building permit locally.
So one of the things that, if I recall, in talking about how it's set up in Wellington, is that in Wellington, their site is set up so that you can really see who's coming in. You can see everything that's going on. It's just, that's how they're laid out. And that they keep those permits that the contractors have, they're in the building, okay? And like our transfer station, they know pretty much everybody that comes in. And so they are able to kind of look there and see, obviously, who has a permit and who does not. Because I also think about the line backing up at the gate. But the other part, I mean, was there some talk about potentially moving what do you call it? The
Like
building on
station.
top, that's up on top. And moving
Um,
it to another
Well,
location.
we did bring that up, but Casey felt that, he's the director of public works, oversees the transfer station. I don't know what you guys.
Yes.
know, but, okay, so, he felt that, we were limited really because of our layout and what we could do. Now, my impression, I have yet to make an appointment with Matt to go visit the Wellington site, is that they check people as they come in, which I know for us, you could get people backing up into the road. So that's something that, would have to be worked out. But so that people don't get too far in before they're already identified and know what they're bringing in. But for us, it would be having people monitoring down the line for where the various, containers are. You'd have to have somebody out there monitoring. And that seems to be the issue, because where the shack on top is now, and I was there Saturday and Sunday, and with my pickup doing my dump, and there were like 4 or 5 other pickups. So if you're looking out the shack, you don't really have a clear line of sight all the way down. You'd have to have boots on the ground to go and monitor that. And then also, again, it's making people aware that we are having a change in what can be done. And one of the things that we were talking about was that we should have a town meeting to discuss the reasons why for the buy-in. Because right now, the way things are, we're, I believe, the only town in Connecticut that is not charging residents to deposit their bulky waste or their household trash. And if we're, anything that we do that would be seen as reducing that, or, might be seen as a de facto charge if you're only able to come in once a week with your 3 cubic yards and or less, that could be problematic, because that would be a change from what we do now. And so our recommendation is that, especially too, as for contractors, if we were to go to a permit process, or, and I know who you're talking about with the styrofoam.
Yeah.
So if we're making changes like that, that would also be like introducing a pay to.
Which is very unpopular.
Exactly. So that would be a reason for a town meeting. And again, I think when people understand that at this time, we're only talking about bulky waste, because that is such a huge amount that, but you would get the buy-in, at least have people would know what we want to do. And if it's town meeting and they could vote on it, that would be, we felt that would be the way to go. But this would also, we would have to know what direction we're going in order to revise our transfer station regulations.
Right.
And then again, you'd have to have that, something in play that you could check to see for, if they have the permit or the building permit or the permit for commercial to deposit their bulky waste.
So do you think the transfer station committee can can get through what they feel would be appropriate changes to our regulations within the next few weeks?
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because then it would be brought to the Board of Selectmen as a recommendation,
Right,
and then we could schedule that town meeting, and then we could give them the full-throated, this is what we're looking at, everybody. And this is a component of that, and we need a decision on this, and I don't know if we need a decision on something else.
Mhm.
But if you could do that and get that together for us, that would be great, because that's an ordinance change.
right. Now, for Casey, I just have like his Department of Public Works email. I don't know who it goes to there. Matt, I don't have, it's not showing up when I get, I don't have Matt's email when you send stuff out. I'm not
It's on,
I'm not able to see
you're not
it.
able to see it on there?
No.
Okay,
And
he's got a really cool one.
And Casey's is just Department of Public Works. So I don't know who it goes to there.
It goes to Casey.
Okay.
He's the one who reads the emails that go to
Okay,
Public Works,
okay.
always.
Because I did send you and Christine the minutes from the meeting, so if you could forward those, or Christine could forward those. on.
Sure. Give me a second here.
I had a question or suggestion.
Yeah.
Couldn't the booth? that
So
was in the
here's-
shack be
here's-
moved Further
just-
down?
Just so you know, this is Matt's email, is Diamond Deuce Coupe. Okay? Here.
Okay.
When I said he had a cool email, he does. I guess he does a lot of work with cars. All right, so, okay, so you need to schedule the next meeting. If I can, you're having them on Wednesdays because that works
Yeah,
well for you guys?
yeah. Let me get his phone number here, or you don't have it.
This phone number?
Yeah, because I want to.
No, I'll get the phone number for you.
Okay, because I just would like to pay a visit.
Yep.
Can I make a suggestion?
Okay.
Ask a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Question, just on that booth, I don't know why the decision was made to put the little booth, the new little booth up front. All traffic is supposed to go to the right. Couldn't that booth be put like another 100 yards in around the corner, like where we all do our you know,
like they're going toward this.
yeah, like the put and take shed,
Yeah,
somewhere in that
yeah.
area, because it's wide enough. You just have to put enough signage saying, you know, booth around the corner or whatever. Then if you had 10 cars backed up, you can deal with it. Then it won't flow out into the street. I mean, it's a little more inconvenient. I know we probably ran power and stuff out there, but if it could be moved further in, it's a wider area, there's no congestion, and put spray paint lines,
Mhm.
and maybe you can even divide people up, saying contractor's line, residential line, or something like that, and then the person in the booth could be actually in the middle, and then it could be like a toll booth. You could have one person on one side, and then the other contractor coming in the other side, or, you know, residents one side, contractor, or something like that. I don't know, maybe just suggestions,
Yeah, yeah.
spit that out.
Bill, you want to add something?
Yeah, yes and no to that suggestion. I mean, one of the reasons we put that and having spent many hours, my wife volunteered to do it, and we had several others when we did the issuing of the last permits and everything, and we initiated that booth there.
Yeah.
Number of people we saw that saw that booth there
Oh, and turn around.
never even came into the grounds.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have a number of cars that you'll see up there that don't have stickers now, because that booth has not been being utilized now.
Right.
For some time, but, so that was one, as a deterrent, having somebody there. We did
Right.
try to widen that, and I'm not sure what the new plan calls for, where there's 2 lanes there, where somebody can pull up to the booth on the right-hand side, or there's a far
Just
right lane
pass, right.
that we used to just wave people through
Yeah.
when you see the bright sticker on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's arguments to both sides.
Right.
Um,
No, I understand.
I
Actually,
almost
That
think-
definitely makes sense.
Yeah, actually, to me, not a bad idea, because we also have a problem with people just dumping stuff at the put and take.
Right.
Okay, if we had something further back and maybe just, look at it in terms of how you can block someone if there's a problem or whatever. But that would make it so whoever's in the booth has a more active job than sitting there waiting for cars to come through.
Right.
Which is tedious beyond belief. And to do that for the best, basically for 8 hours, we should have, even when we looked at having somebody in that booth, we should have had people rotate in and out of the booth, 2-hour slots, something like that. But if we did have something further back and there was a way of preventing, someone from actually coming in, they've got to be able to turn around.
Yes.
Okay, but it might be an opportunity to have a better eye on what's happening at the, not only all of the bins down there, but also the put and take. Which is another issue that we have. The guys
It's a
that work
huge
down there,
eyesore. I've seen
they
it. There's so much
hate-
crap down
yeah, they
there.
do. And I
There's
put
a
things
lot
out
of
on Facebook, whatever, said, don't bring food, don't bring clothes, we've got a bin up top for clothes. And you can take them to Savers or some other place and actually get a discount on anything you're picking up there. And by the way, that's my husband's favorite store. But that's an interesting thought. We never thought about moving it further back.
I mean, if you got radio communications, walkie-talkies for the workers down there, you can easily say if there's somebody that's not allowed to dump, you just radio in and say this person's gonna continue driving through and around.
Good point.
And if they don't continue on, they could be fined if they just, just gonna quickly pull up to bulky waste and dump. They'll be caught and
You-
fined or whatever, I don't know.
Like,
That's
you might want
possibility.
to consider going to their meeting and talking with all of them about it. And, adding that in. There you go.
Whichever.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail anything.
Soon, he's gonna be
So,
all over it.
anyway, thank you for the update. Thank you for the update. And I'm looking forward to the next meeting. What I'm doing is putting something out. I put it in the Citizen for next month. Saying, hey, folks, your yellow transfer station stickers have expired. You may have noticed, not to worry. Okay, they're good until we issue the new ones. And our intent is to issue the new ones when we have the place repaved. Okay, which is September, October. And I don't know the exact date, but we've got contractors lined up and whatever. So they're good until then. And then we'll do the same thing, like Bill said. He and his wife, were down there and they were taking the information and handing out stickers to people. We will not mail them out. We cannot afford to do that. Plus, you're mailing them, you don't know what they really need anyway. But we'll have people down there who will be taking care of it. We'll have it. Bill, I don't know how long you guys did it, but it was like at least one weekend, if not more.
Well, it turned out to be over a month.
Over a month,
when we
good,
had
good. So we'll
coverage down there.
so we'll do that.
Yeah,
And even better, if we in fact have that station moved further back. Any line that happens, and I don't know how fast you guys are able to do it, but you gotta take down information and give them the sticker. You have to check their license or
well,
if they've
that's
got property here.
What the thought was, and I believe was in the budget we purchased, was to have that person in that booth have the laptop.
Yeah.
And our Savage had set up where
Yep.
whoever types it in down there automatically came to Chris's computer too. So it could be, I don't know whatever happened. with the
Savage
plan.
may have done that, in terms of
But
that,
there's
but what they
Wi-Fi
didn't
in-
do
in
was
the-
make it
In the
like,
booth to accommodate that and all the electrical.
all that was set up, but what they didn't think about was in the environment itself, you'd have to have a shared file. Okay, and how that was gonna work, because she's entering in information, she would be entering in information for anybody who came here for stickers. And you could actually do it for permits too, if you really wanted to get into it. And they could do it down there. but you have to have a shared file to do this with.
Savage had told us they had that all set up to go.
I'll talk with them again. That
Okay.
was the thing that I believe stopped it.
Okay, because
Um,
otherwise we had two books.
Yeah,
We
and
had,
to me, you could
we had
have,
a property owner's book and then we had a residence book. Because there are people that own property that don't live in town.
Yeah.
Right.
Even some that have out of state plates, which I know we've had some commotion down there.
Yeah.
Because people see somebody with a Massachusetts plate in there.
Right.
Oh,
they
it's
think so,
amazing.
You know,
Yeah, they have a business auto.
okay, so we spent quite a bit on this, but it was great to get that kind of an update and those thoughts. Okay, moving on to the old business. Ashford School roof replacement project status. I still do not have the Garland warranty. They said that 2 weeks ago, they said they're all set to issue it. I'm waiting. Okay, very frustrating.
and how about from the GC?
Say that one more time.
How about from the general contractor?
General contractor. We got one that he issued to Garland. It was Garland, he gives it to Garland. Okay. All right, there are disputes.
I can't say okay to that.
I know, and I'm living it every day. There was a dispute about
So when
materials.
Material is issued a warranty.
Bear with me. They issued a warranty. They had to give it to Garland. Okay, for Garland's approval.
Did you get a copy of it?
Yeah, it doesn't have all the materials, that kind of thing. What it says is it's guaranteed for, it's actually more than 2 years for any of their workmanship stuff. And any materials, they didn't list the materials. Garland has all the materials. Okay, when they had a dispute about what they said was what Imperial, the general contractor, used for materials and particular type of material. When all was said and done, these boys said, oh, a misunderstanding. Okay, that Garland thought that the general contractor used a material that in fact they did not use. So they were disputing it. I can tell you, I'm sick to death of this. Unfortunately, we will still have to be working with Garland because it's a Garland roof with a Garland, it'll have a Garland warranty, and we have to, putting solar on the roof, we have to have whoever puts solar on the roof approved by Garland, because it either has to be the original general contractor who will make any incisions on the roof or inspect any incisions that are made on the roof in order for the warranty to hold. Okay, and they've got it inspected, yada, yada, yada. You know, I did check to see why we didn't decide to put solar in the parking lot instead. So apparently there were issues about a fire truck being able to get in there the way they need to get in there, that height, et cetera, et cetera. But the other thing was that there'd be a retardation of the electric or whatever, sending it from all the way out in the parking lot to the building. Okay, and wherever else it needed to go. So that's my understanding. I asked the owner's rep, MHR, who has been working with us for the past, I guess, 3.5 years on this. So anyway, that's where that stands. Still waiting. I've already given them hell as many times as I can.
Can't we have our town attorney? push the
I've
issue?
already told them, well, bear with me.
Yeah.
I already told them that town council is going to review the warranty. Okay? The point is if I pull town council into the middle of this dispute that they've had, it is beyond the pale because it is stacks of stuff. So I'm not looking to jack up the cost of our attorney's fees. They will give us the warranty. I'm on their case. If I don't get it this week, then I'll pull in the town council to force them. But there's no reason for them not to provide it. The other thing they hadn't done, we got the warranty from the general contract, see that they've given it. We hadn't had the final inspection on the roof. So the general contractor was saying, we fulfilled all aspects that were on the punch list. He could say that. Nobody called to have the final inspection. And I have particular things that I wanted the building official to look at. They had to do with draining and that kind of thing to ensure that we were not going to have problems in the future. So he has since, because I contacted him, he reached out and he did an expansion and he's issued the CO for approval. So I have that, you know, I just know that our building official is, you know, I don't know how many roofs he's done. I'm not saying that they're not competent because they are highly competent. They're, it's out of Bolton. This is how we save money
Is
is
that
where
Mike
you,
D'Amato?
sorry?
Mike D'Amato?
No, he's not a
Okay.
building inspector.
Okay.
He's a zoning enforcement
Oh.
officer. That's another way we
Right.
save money is we contract
Yeah.
with these guys instead of having full-time employees or even part-time employees. So no, the building officials are out of Bolton. Jim Rupert, who lives in town, is their town manager. He runs what is kind of a regional program. So our building officials, I think they got 4 to 5 at any given point in time. And the one we have is Rich McKinnon. And he does a very fine job. And if we need others, they bring others in. So
As far as the parking lot solar, I wish we had a chance to look into something like that first before we pull the trigger on anything, putting on the new roof. But I know Buckland Mall
that's
has
different.
solar way out.
Yeah, I know
and
it's-
that's quite a distance.
Yeah,
So I
they-
don't know what they're using to bring.
So
it
their
in.
solar is way out.
Yeah.
Okay, is how you get to the line.
Okay.
Okay, they're close to the line.
Right.
But even so, they are a very large, super large one. I'm sure they had more money to work with than we have to work with. But that is apparently the rationale that was used. It was before my time.
But I know as far as apparatus, fire apparatus goes, there should be able to configure the parking lot. You should be able to configure the parking lot to accommodate fire apparatus to be able to get to the building.
So then we'd be redoing the
So-
parking lot?
No, just reconfigure, meaning not paving, lining, striping. So fire apparatus only really needs to get close to the building and that's it.
Right.
So where
So they
the
would
cars
also,
park, you should be able to put.
they'd also have to dig it up.
So,
Okay, they have to trench it.
right, which patching's fine.
Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah.
You're
Okay,
a
I'm
guest.
just-
You're a guest.
Yeah, no,
so-
I'm just throwing it out there.
No,
that's all.
you're a guest.
That's all.
You've had your
That's good.
opportunity. So let's move on.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, so solar project. That one we had the rug pulled out from under us. Okay, I haven't had a chance to talk to you. I wanted to talk to you in this meeting. So we have had meetings with Eversource. Now, mind you, a year ago, we asked Eversource, you know, hey, what do we think we need? And they were saying, we believe you need a $15,000 transformer for the system you want to put up on the roof. So we've had, what we did was I've been able to bring in Eversource early in this project. Normally what happens is when you have a paid purchase agreement or you have a contractor doing it, they work with Eversource. So we brought them in ahead of time and had everybody in the room, and we've had 3 meetings. So third meeting, their grid on that road cannot support the amount of solar we want to put on the roof. Period. We want to put 220 kilowatts AC. That's what the system would be. And they can only support 75. So it was interesting and I put this it'll be in the Ashford Citizen to give them an update, the town an update as well. There is no reason they could not have told us this before.
Sure.
Okay, so, and when they were telling me, I'm project owner, because somebody has to do that. And so when they were telling me, they kind of were like coming in sideways. And I finally said, so what you're telling me is that you cannot support the level of, you cannot support putting a system on a relatively small school roof, and you have no plans to upgrade your infrastructure in the future. Which is, they said yes, and they apologized. They said that it's like a single current there, so they can only support houses. And I said, so you're telling me that our fire department is only receiving basically the equivalent of what a house would get? And they said yes. So what we have our owner's rep doing is we went back to our RFP. We went back to the paid purchase agreement, which were all reviewed by town council, by Kerma, our insurance company, etc. Went back, kind of punting for a bit. And so it'll support a third the size of what we wanted to put up there. That's still considerable savings for the school. And it also positions them very well because electricity, by the way, is going to go up. And we have ZRECs that are guaranteeing the rate that we're going to have and all of that. In addition, one of the companies that had, and actually I can't get into that because it's contractual. Let's just say that the ZREC will expire it's like a 15-year ZREC. And the system is like a 25-year system. So the ZREC is from the time that it was originally approved. So we've already eaten into 2 years of ZREC, possibly going on 3. So that's how much we have left. A PPA agreement, what happens is that they can, the people for PPA, this is like when you talk about purchasing something. I talked with town council about this. PPA, about this issue. The PPA is, they own the system. Okay, they own the system. It's like you have a vending machine that gives out cans of soda. They own the machine. Okay, we're just getting the cans of soda. So they can, and some have mentioned this, they can also research and apply another savings, work with whoever they need to work with, so that beyond the ZREC, we also have this. So that's another aspect of what we're looking at. So we have redrafted the RFP, town council has looked at it. We have redrafted the PPA, town council looked at it. And actually all it was to change something related to size and some dates. And so Kerma is looking at what's the last thing they're looking at? I think it's the PPA. There's nothing related to insurance that's changed in either of the documents. And so we anticipate Kermit's going to complete their thing. And then we're issuing the RFP. Okay, we're issuing the new RFP. We have taken the other one down. And we returned the bonding money that those companies had put up, which was $5,000 each. So that's where we are at this point. Not putting solar on the roof means we would lose an opportunity to actually generate savings. So that's where we are. Had we gone ahead to purchase this, we would not have found out until we had already brought in a general contractor or whatever to purchase the solar. So I'm just letting you know, because we wouldn't have been doing this.
I disagree with that.
But okay, just letting you know. So that's the update on that. Any comments, Bill?
Not right now. I think we're gonna get to a point pretty quick where this whole thing's gonna end up in litigation.
I end up what?
In litigation.
With whom?
It doesn't get resolved. Well, with the warranties involved. and
Oh, that's the
everything,
roof. I'm talking about
they're gonna
solar.
tie in together. You're not gonna have any contractor put anything on that roof unless they can see and be satisfied with warranties
Yeah,
that they're protected.
well, Garland warranties are out there, so I don't think we'll end up in litigation.
Garland is a material warranty.
They do not.
Material is a working, is a structure warranty.
That's a structure warranty.
Right.
Yep. So the
And they
structure is
use
whatever
much
they
more
put
on
into
that
the
roof
structure.
Than just Garland products. Garland was the.
Garland
ceiling.
approved products. It could have been a Garland product, it could have been a product. I can tell you, in the case of this issue, one of the things that happened was Garland couldn't provide the product. Okay, and so what was talked about was an equivalent product, and Garland was aware. Okay, so Garland approved it, and actually what happened was this actually caused a delay in the project because Garland sent the wrong product, then they couldn't provide the other product. And so things went back and forth with receipts, et cetera, et cetera. I've looked at all of those. And that was something where, hey, Garland couldn't provide it. So I'm not happy with having a Garland roof because I don't like how they operate. But that wasn't my decision. So we're working with it. Okay, new business, approval of Natchog Watershed MOU. They've asked to delay that. They want to make sure, what we're going to get is a letter, we're going to,
I will,
okay, thank you so
Okay.
much for coming.
all right, I'll get that meeting scheduled. I'll get the meeting scheduled.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
So, and thank you for your work on that committee.
Oh,
It's
You're welcome.
pretty critical. The Natchog Watershed MOU, the Conservation Commission will be writing a letter recommending that we approve that. But they are not having their meeting before, they were not having their meeting before this one, so they've asked to delay that. Okay. And I have actually met with the person kind of overseeing the watershed MOU, the whole project, and had a very good meeting with it. There's also a reference to it in the POCD that's being worked on for the town. You know, that's one that they already have in there. So, and it's just about protecting the water. Board and commission appointments. I don't think we have any new ones.
No, if I can add to that, though, I did have an inquiry over the weekend about our emergency management director.
Yes,
And I won't share the name right now, but he happens to be a police officer, doesn't work in town, but is interested, very familiar with what the responsibilities are, so
that's
I'm probably gonna
fantastic.
put him in touch with you.
Yes, because,
He's concerned about hours and commitments and that sort of thing, but I'm optimistic that may work out.
right, and that person's hired by the first selectman.
Yeah.
Okay, good, that's fantastic. I've had one person who came in about it. I had somebody who had called from Enfield and provided his information. And he was not suitable.
This is a resident.
Sorry?
This is a resident.
That would be even better. My only concern might be if this person is an active police officer, if there were an emergency, would he be pulled away from that? But we desperately need someone. Our current EMD and the assistant EMD have been great, but they have limited amount of time to put into this. Employment updates on open positions. No one has applied for the Town of Ashford historian. No one has, we've interviewed 3 people for the rec director position. And let me just see here.
Can I make a motion regarding the recreation director under this item?
Bear with me. So we have a possible executive session here to discuss possible litigation and personnel. You want to make the recommendation now? We could,
Well, as you know, Friday, we held interviews for that position.
Yep.
And while we didn't take a vote, I think there's a consensus, and I'm ready to go forward with a nomination to fill that position,
so,
recreation director.
since we have, I'm trying to think of just parliamentary. There was something I wanted to talk with you about regarding pay. If we were to do this in the executive session, have the discussion, okay? And you were to make the motion after the executive session on a special meeting, that's still okay to do.
If that's what you're comfortable with. You cannot add anything to a special meeting, as you know,
As I know, that's why I'm asking.
and that's why I brought it up.
All right, we'll do it here. Okay. So, let me make sure I can write something.
I'd like to make a motion to offer the position of part-time recreation director to Noah King. Based on 22.25 an hour. And did we advertise the hours required in that? I don't remember.
We said 28 hours.
28 hours. And although Roger couldn't make the meeting today because of confusing with the agenda, he's also on board with that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I am delighted that we found someone. I'm delighted that it's Noah. He's worked with Sherry before. He's pretty familiar on things. He is from Ashford,
Born and raised in town.
born and raised in town,
Nice young man.
and knows a lot of people. He's been very active in his volunteerism.
Yep.
He sits on the board of WHAM. So I think he's an excellent candidate. Also, just in passing, I'm letting you know that all of the candidates that we interviewed, the interview committee, we talked to them about the bringing in the software for them to work with. So there were no pauses or hesitation on their part by then. In fact, as I recall, Noah said, that's a great idea. We use it for WHAM or whatever, use something like it. Okay, so, yay. Okay, done
Okay.
pretty quickly. And I would like to say something about Sherry. Sherry went through everything in her office. She organized everything, cleaned out all kinds of things, put things, ran me through what her filing system is. She did a fantastic job. And for someone who's been here 25 years, I know what it's like to leave a job after you've been there a long time and go through everything and try and leave it in good order for others. She did an absolutely fantastic job. So I wanted to let you know that. Let's see. And she's now playing pickleball like crazy. We don't have anything back from Alex on the next item, which is the review and consider town office building lower level parking lot lighting. I will do another reach out to him to have him, he was supposed to come back with really full estimates on what needed to be done.
I think we moved and authorized an expenditure up to $7,000.
Right.
But
I need him to come back and tell us what it's
still in
gonna-
that ballpark.
Yeah, he needs to come back and tell us exactly what it is and put it together in a PO.
The only critical part I see about that is before we have to put the clocks back.
Yeah, I agree. Approval of tax refunds. I don't think we have any for this meeting. Let's check. Hey, Chris? We don't have any tax refunds for this meeting, right? Nope, we don't. Possible executive session to discuss possible litigation and personnel. We can waive that. Unless you want to talk more about warranties and whatever.
No, I prefer to do that with Roger joining us.
Okay. Agenda items for upcoming meetings. We know we're going to have the senior center director and the
Social service.
youth social services director come in and provide essentially their annual report for the Board of Selectmen, answer any questions that we may have. Anything else we want to put on there?
Nothing that I can think of right now.
Uh,
Catherine, are you thinking that we'll have a special meeting? Or that we'll just kind of wing it and go with our next regular meeting? Which will have to change to be a special meeting for daytime at 1 o'clock. For the ladies that we want to interview.
Yeah. And I continue to get really good feedback on them.
Good.
And
I
they
do- I
work
do too.
together very well. The other thing I wanted to let you know is that what was also discussed during interviews with candidates for the rec department was that senior consortium meeting that's held monthly, where it's, representation from the library, from the library director, the agent for the elderly and senior center director, the head of ASCO, Jessica from senior housing, the one more person, and me, that the rec director should also attend those meetings, so that we have a really good cross-section. While the senior consortium is focused on seniors for the most part, and they exchange ideas and they dovetail programs and they work together on things, it's really a really terrific dynamic with this group. We also want the rec director to be hearing what's going on for the seniors, and also any rec programs that can be for seniors, for him to be aware and maybe be managing depending. And the other thing is that he is also a person who can, when he's dealing with the public, can convey, hey, you know what, there is a senior program for that, if you're interested in it, kind of thing. So to keep that dynamic going, and so all of them were agreeable with that. Okay,
I've got 11:09 and I will move adjournment.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 11:09. Thank you,
for coming,
and
folks.
our apologies for the snafu. I'm glad you guys could come.
That's right.
It actually on the website says it was canceled.
Just what was canceled.
See how it says Monday, July 21st?
Yeah,
That's today, right? Board of
well,
Selectmen
the
special meeting,
7
and then it says-
o'clock was canceled. And then we
Gotcha.
noticed a special meeting that was supposed to be for 1, but it was published as 10.
Quite interesting, all of it.
Thanks, Catherine.
Yeah, this is where we make the sausage.
It's ready to put it all together, trying to. figure it
We
all
do our
out.
best.
I am going to approach the post office just about cutting down, I'm gonna say by 50. And I only say that,
Do you give them to the post office and they put them in the bins?
so, yes, so here's how it works. Anything printed prints up what the post office tells them they need for whatever, the number, so in order to
How do
get
you
the bulk
decide who
rate.
gets them and who doesn't?
So the bulk rate that we get, that we receive, is a specific number through the post office. And but it's not live. It's not like today there's this many residents. I think it's a lagged number that comes through. So it could be like last month's number of residents in Ashford.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
I would think what the post office has is who has an active mailbox there,
Right,
okay? And that's the number that they should be providing.
right. So anything printed has always taken care of that. They contact the post office tells them that.
Right.
He brings them right there. They're all bundled up, they're all ready to go, and the post office accepts them, and then he's charged the bulk rate. I never bring anything down there. Sherry's never brought anything.
So they're
down
getting the
there.
right number.
So they're getting the right number, but we are.
We can't do that because we have to provide,
For everyone, correct, I agree, but an additional 50 have been requested by Sherry in the past, because there were 50
Sherry
mailings.
who?
Sherry downstairs, much.
50 for down here.
50 that she would get extra added on top of what the bulk rate was, because there were people who subscribed out of town. You know, they pay for their
Yes.
subscriptions. That number has decreased tremendously as well. There aren't as many. Some of those people have passed
Oh,
away.
so find out from her how many.
Well, I have that information now. That got passed to me too.
All right.
So that's why I'm saying that number is lower as well.
Yeah.
So I am going to tell them to go down by at least 50. It's not gonna make a huge difference. It doesn't have anything to do with making sure it gets to every house. It will still get to every house, every PO. This is just the extras she would get.
So the ones that
but-
live out of town have property here. they get
Some
to-
of them, or it was somebody like, Volkscraft when
I
she moved
get,
into.
I
yeah.
get that,
yeah.
okay, there are some like that, but
Yeah.
other ones are ones that have property, because they pay for it. They pay to receive those.
They pay to receive that,
Yeah.
right? So they have interest in our town. They don't necessarily still live here or have property.
No,
here.
but they can vote here. They can vote for our referendums here.
As long as they, for budgets,
Yeah,
as long as they own property here.
Oh, no, as long as they own
Yeah.
property here, but if you don't own
town
property,
meetings
you
they can vote,
cannot.
town
Yes.
meetings they can vote.
So, but town meeting, but not the people, the list of subscriptions I have are just people who they live in Mansfield and they're just interested in our newsletter.
Okay,
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what we should do is whoever has asked for those subscriptions, we
Yep.
should give them to.
Yep.
And whoever the post office has active mailboxes
Yep.
for, we should give them to.
Yes,
So if that's a matter of, I'm surprised that that hasn't been kind of a fluctuating number over time, just because of attrition and.
that is a fluctuating number,
Okay, so,
just by a.
so what you're saying, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying, because.
Yep.
Is that you want to reduce the number that we're producing. You want it to align with the number of people that are actually asking for it.
And the
Okay,
subscriptions.
they're on record.
Yep.
And then, what's the other piece?
And the subscriptions,
That is a subscription.
right, but we.
They are
don't-
asking for it.
Right, the extra 50 were to leave 10 here, 10 senior center, 10 everywhere else.
Who's saying
Dropping
that?
off. Sherry,
Very much.
Sherry Much. That's how we've done it in the past. I'm suggesting we no longer take the extra 50, because there always is extra 50 when you go to the post office and see it get stacked up after the delivery date.
My concern is that people pick them up where they're being left, or where people will pick them up.
Yeah, but they're not.
They're
I just
not.
picked up 50,
50 from where?
the post office.
I'm not
just
talking
on
about the
ledge,
post office.
At the
I'm
ledge.
talking about the library, the other places where
Oh,
she
no.
wanted them.
Right, that's still going to happen, but I'm going to use the excess that the post office leaves on the table after delivery.
Okay, so someone's gonna go pick those up.
Yes, me. Me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I didn't get that part of it.
Sorry. I probably
I thought we were
communicated
cutting,
that.
I thought we were
wrong.
cutting down the number that were going out to people.
No, never, I know.
Or
in
being
order to
left in
do
the
legal notices,
library,
that
et
all
cetera, et
has to be-
cetera.
Right, I'm just the
Yeah.
extras. There,
Yeah.
I don't think we need to ask for 50 extras, because there always is 50 extras
There's always
at the
more
end.
than enough,
Right.
yeah, because even hanging
Okay.
around here, I
All
go
right.
down
Right.
by Linda's and there's
Right, I mean,
still-
we're now ready for the August one to come out, and I just picked up 25 more Julys.
Yeah.
Just left there, so
Okay,
I would
good.
rather try and collect
Reduce
the
that.
waste,
Good.
yes, reduce that.
And
So
when
I'm
we were
gonna do that as
talking
much as
about
possible.
eliminating the printed versions
Yep.
kind of thing, or just
Yep.
having a couple hundred, I hadn't thought about
No.
we do our notices in
Yes.
these.
Yeah.
And it
I
has a
agree.
broader audience than anything in the
Yeah.
newspaper.
And honestly, doesn't matter to me, because I still have to do it. You know, you still have to create it, whether you're uploading. it
Matters to
onto
me
the
because I
web
was trying
or-
to save money.
Yeah, yeah, it would be nice to save money there.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy your day,
You too.
enjoy your week. I'll be back on Wednesday, but.
There's the, can I have you, I don't know if you've got time.
Yeah.
I just sent, I don't know whatever happened to the invoice for the 2 chairs from Staples.
Yeah,
I know, I don't have it,
you need a copy of it.
I need to have a payment back for it. I don't know whether it got lost in the email shuffle. I didn't send it to you. It's very possible.
Do you want me to go in and check for it now?
I
Or
went
you
and
want me
sent
to
it
do it
this
Wednesday
morning.
morning? Okay.
Yeah, if you could do, just so you know, for Wednesday morning, that would be fine, because I'm gonna process it through to get paid, because they sent me a nasty grant. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. Yeah. Someone will let the house.
I'm sure she has the voucher payment and the invoice stapled together.
Yeah, I don't have, it hasn't gotten paid, so I don't know if it just didn't get forwarded on to me.
Let me go peek quick and see
If she does.
if it's in our list, in our file.
Okay,
I'll look quick.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, I gotta check for.
No, we are going to do that. It is, I got out of it.